Hello everybody, welcome to the first of many interviews I make. And the first guest, which is like a total coincidence, he had a gig yesterday and we were like, yo, meet up, we ate some schnitzel, we were playing at my place.
Definitely.
And welcome, Kevin, aka First Person.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself to the people. Who are you, what you're making, where you're from?
Thanks for the invite, man. I'm super happy to be here and do my word. I'm Kevin Hogers. I'm from the Netherlands, Beverwijk. I'm a producer, DJ, First Person. Yeah, I've been producing for a couple of years now, and since 2017 I started doing drum and bass, and in 2023 I released my first music as First Person. And today I'm here after my gig in Vienna, doing an interview, and yeah, super hyped, so nice.
Glad to have you here, man. When you're saying 2023, that's actually like not very long ago. And how was your curve from music production wise?
I have been producing since I was 10, 11 years old. I'm now 27, so it's almost 17 years. At first I started with like tropical house. And
okay, yeah.
At the end of 2016 I went to a party called Major League.
Okay.
And there was like drum and bass and a dubstep, and I got completely sold there, man. Yeah, the music definitely hooked me, man. And so yeah, I started practicing like drum and bass. Man, I had to learn everything anew. It's
yeah, I mean, you start somewhere.
Yeah. So it was really different from what I did with house, and yeah, it was a long road. And before First Person, I also did some stuff with the Audio Killers with two of my best friends. We're still doing some gigs just now, but yeah, in 2023 I decided to go solo away from the Audio Killers.
All right, okay. Cool. And another question that's like always interesting. How did you come up with your name? Why is it First Person?
I like first person shooters, man.
Oh,
I always, like back in the days when I was young, like nowadays I'm totally shit in video games, but when I was young I used to play like Call of Duty, and that's why the name came up to me, like a First Person. Now, also the thing is I always like to, I'm a very talkative person and I like to talk to people, so I'm mostly the first person to start a conversation with someone. And yeah, I was thinking what would be a nice name for me to do in the drum and bass.
Okay.
So I came to First Person, yeah.
Can you still remember, or what was like the first drum bass track that made you like, I need to make music like this?
Like Neurofunk, like the first track that really got me into drum and bass was 44 Mac by Sub-Zero. It's like a very wonky jump up track, which got me into drum and bass. Then I started listening to like Mackie G and stuff. Like the square jump up. Then I went to like Liquid. I think the first Neurofunk track that really got me, of course, Dead Limit.
And like in the last interview, the guy at the break, cheers out to you, he also said like Dead Limit always. That's timeless tune, of course, man. That's really interesting. So you said you went from Jump Up to Liquid to Neuro.
Yeah.
That's like really interesting.
And like, if you can imagine, like end of 2016, I started listening to drum and bass. 2017, I started producing drum and bass. And in 2019, I released my first Neuro track, which was a remix for QO, Spread the Fire. And that was my first track. So in only a time segment of like 2 years, I went from Jump Up, Liquid, Neuro.
That's crazy. Like usually people go from soft to harder, and you like go like from crazy to soft and then to...
and still in the summer I tend to listen a lot of Liquid still.
That leads me to my next question. Do you get some inspiration from other genres? Like, do you listen, like you said, you listen to Liquid, but is there like anything else, or is it? Yeah,
actually there's some stuff that I implement from tech house, like offbeat kicks, offbeat snares. It's done in drum and bass, of course, but there's like some elements and some grooves that you can hear in, for example, in two-step and tech house that I try to implement in my music. Yeah.
Okay, nice. That's cool. Yeah, because like having influences from other genres is so interesting, because of course you can have like so many different outcomes.
Yeah. Also, if you listen to my tracks, it's quite often very cinematic. The intro is very cinematic. So I try to fuse like a bit of movie stuff in there as well. And lately I've been experimenting with adding like way more effects on the background. Growls, you won't hear it.
Yeah,
but if you listen closely,
that's what making the difference. Yeah, exactly. Nice, man. When talking about music production, what's the first thing you're making? Is it like the drums, the bass? You start on an intro?
It basically depends on what my idea is for a certain track. If I want a track which is more based on melodical stuff, I will start with making chords in the intro, and then I work my way up to the drop, and then I can use like the chords and the progressions from the intro, or even the break if I start with the break, and then fuse that into the drop. And then you get like a very nice ongoing flow from the intro to the drop. It goes melodical, it drops down into break, and then it moves on. It's going like, it's some kind of wave. And if I'm going for like some heavy neurofunk, like some stuff I'm producing right now, then I start with the drop. I just put up a single drum loop, and from there I will just go into sound design. I have to be free in what I do. That's why I also decided to go solo for first person. You know, I just wanted to put more of my own feelings into the music. That's what I constantly do when I'm in the studio.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Thank you. We're still on the topic of making music. Do you have any piece of gear or any plugin you swear off but never like anyone talks about it?
A lot of people don't know Current.
Current.
Yeah, it's a plugin by Minimal Audio, and it's super easy to use. Everybody knows Serum, Serum 2, Phase Plant, Vital's also very nice, and it's free.
Yeah, that's true.
Free plugins are always nice, but Current is so easy, man. I bought it last year. I think it's like rent to own or something. It's a new plugin, and sometimes you just have to see how the plugin is going, and from there you get a vibe, and it takes some time to learn the plugin. Then I open the plugin within 15 minutes at an insane bass.
Okay.
And it's now one of my main core plugins, I think, when it comes to sound design along Serum 2.
Okay.
I can recommend it even to like starting producers. Like Serum 2 can be, you know, if you're an advanced producer, it's easy for you to see like how the routing goes. But it's always good to learn, of course. But Current, it's just so user friendly, and all the pre-wired connections in the plugin, top quality. And it's just like the sound you get from the plugin in a very short amount of time. It gives yourself a personal boost. I can recommend it for sure. So.
Okay, thanks for this insight.
Yeah.
Like that's a bit off one, but if your tracks were a type of food, what would it taste like and why?
If it was a type of food, it would be either a Big Mac or a very tasty lasagna.
And why?
You know, if it's if I can explain it well, if it's a banger.
Try to.
If it's a banger, it's a hamburger. You know, a hamburger is fat, it's big, you know. So if it's a banger track with a fat bass line, rolling drums, it's a hamburger. If the track is a lasagna, it's a more melodical track. It's layering, you know. It's layers on top, of course.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Definitely, you have to put the layers right.
That's super creative. I didn't think that you got this good of an answer. Thank you, man. So going back to the main topic, one thing is another one for my producer friends out there. How do you mentally reset when you are stuck, or does pressure put you forward? What is your take on this one?
Of course, every producer, or you have to be like broke, every producer has like sometimes a writer's block. These guys don't have a writer's block, I think. But everyone has it sometimes. I think for me what helps is just put it aside and maybe skip it for a few days. Put it aside and go into the studio and just go sound designing and like skip the track for a few days.
Yeah.
Make some new sounds, and maybe you are working on a sound and think, hey, it will fit this track, you know, and then you can fuse it into the track, and you get some new creativity sparks. That's how it mostly works for me, actually. I've been struggling with a lot of creativity blocks.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Probably everyone who has been producing music for a longer time has been like fighting with writer's block, so everyone has a different approach on how to go around it. And thanks for telling us yours. If someone, a friend or whoever, you know, has never listened to drum and bass, and you have to show them one of your tracks,
one of my tracks,
which one would it be to introduce them into the genre?
I think it will be Resurgence by Threat first person remix. It's a remix I did. I think it's very easy to listen, even for like people who don't listen to drum and bass, because it has like the vocals, and I think it has a catchy like chord phrase in the drop. So I think I will show that one to people. Yeah. If I'm going heavy with my own tracks, then it will be definitely The Fall.
Yeah, man, dude. When I heard The Fall,
I think it's my most experimental track.
Yeah, and it's very, very aggressive. I also like to switch in it like top piece,
nice,
top piece.
Thanks.
What are some artists that you look up to or get inspired from?
There's like 3 guys that are my top favorites. This is going to be a bit off genre. Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer?
Yeah, this guy, he produces music for some of the greatest movies out there. Like the way he composes his music is just insane, with like soundscapes going all over the place. And yeah, he's one of my idols for sure when it comes to cinematic stuff. If it comes to drum and bass, it's definitely Burr Oak and Audio.
Like in The Fall, like I was like, yo, this could be Audio. This is so like, because he has such a unique sound, and I don't want to say like that you're copying him. Like you do your own thing. It's just like it's fitting in this piece of neurofunk, like in that corner. Yeah, what we both I think really dig.
Yeah, definitely. And these guys are top notch, you know, for all they have been for a few years, and I think they're inspiration for a lot of
That's true. Big ups, Audio, big ups, bro. Yeah. Big up Hans Zimmer if you see.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer.
One more question and then we're already heading into the end, but stay here with me, with us. Have you ever had an embarrassing moment on stage?
Yeah, a few times.
Do you want to tell us maybe 1 or 2?
Yeah, I think a lot of DJs had this moment that you're just like, oh, you're so into it, you know, you're vibing and you're like mixing the track in, and then you press start and like the sound stops. You press the wrong deck.
Classic.
It happened a few times.
Yeah, that's a classic one.
It happens, and of course, beat match mistakes, but it's part of growth, I think. The experience for yourself, you have to learn each time you're playing. And if you're doing this for like 2-3 years, you get some like of automation for yourself, and things will get easier.
Yeah, it's like riding a bicycle.
Definitely.
At first you struggle, but afterwards it's just like rolling. We're almost at the end. But one most important thing is, do you have anything to say?
Definitely. I'm running Scamula Recordings label side together with my good friend Damien Sietsma. We're doing it together. I'm the guy that does all the label stuff. If you have any music, please contact me, scamulaevents@gmail.com, send your stuff and we will get in touch with you. And for first person, I'm actually working on some crazy stuff, including a remix for Burr Oak. Quite secret still, but I can give a little bit of a hint. And I'm doing some sick collabs, and there will be some great features on amazing labels even this year still. So keep your eye open, and there will be much more first-person music on the way.
Even a collab between us?
Oh yeah, definitely. Not to forget. So yeah.
Okie dokie. So you're done?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you had some great insights on first person, also on his label, on his journey, where he began, where he's now, what he's doing, what he's loving, what his passion is. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to check in for the next ones. I will have a lot of great artists. It was the first great and also like international. So yeah,
nice.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, man. Super nice.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
Thanks.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.